give you a brief rundown as to what Runderground is. I took on the challenge to run to every station that features on the London Tube map. So I'm doing the Underground, Overground, DLR, Elizabeth Line, trams and the cable car. So I'm at Roding Valley, and not only is it the least used station on the Central Line, but it's also the least used station across the whole Underground network. Now today I'm going to be doing, of course, the Hainault Loop, so let's do that. I've got my route that's here ready, so I'm just going to push start on that any second. 3, 2, 1. Alright, let's go. Let's do this. Wait, do I have everything? It is pretty sunny today, but thankfully there is a bit of a breeze, so it doesn't feel too bad. I should have really... Oh, there you go. It's gorgeous and sunny, but it is very windy. I was also expecting some new mics to come today, actually, but they didn't arrive. So right now, I've got my dead cat that's set up in the corner. So if you do see a bit of that, yeah, I can't really do much about that. Sorry, you're just gonna have to ignore it. Let's get to our next station. So, Woodford Station, tick. This is the thing with Runderground. It's not about getting the fastest time or like running from station to station the quickest time or anything. All that it is that I love running and I love transport. And so, hey, why not both? It's just literally going from station to station, line to line, on a tube map, and that's it. There's nothing really much else to it. Anyway, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. South Woodford, Snaresbrook. Did I even get it? Yeah, so we're 4.88 kilometers in, and we've just hit 28 minutes. It is still very hot. We've got sun cream on, so that's a good thing. But yeah, it's just a very hot day today. Just arrived here. So we're going to be running adjacent to the North Circular, and then we're heading to Redbridge next. So right now we're passing underneath the junction of the A12 and the North Circular. So running adjacent to the A12, and then we'll end up at Gants Hill, and then still running along the A12, we'll end up at Newby Park. So there's not really too much to see. It's just going to be a busy road by the whole time. But for what I remember, Gants Hill doesn't actually have a station building, so it's something that's accessed through the passageways. One of the things to take into consideration when you are at Newby Park is a fantastic Grade 2 listed bus shelter. Now that we're past the Newby Park, we're now actually getting to one of the more quieter bits of the route itself. So we're not running next to busy dual carriageways anymore. You come to this bit out in London, but it doesn't feel like as if you're in London at all. There's gravel, you're in fields, you get fresh air. This is one of my favourite bits about London, is that you're never really too far from what feels like the countryside. You could be out here, and here we go with some horses, but just beyond that you can see the tube line just there. I just want to enjoy this bit out here because it's absolutely gorgeous. Come to this bridge here and get a beautiful vantage point of the station and the station buildings. Now you might notice the extended platforms at Barkingside. In fact, you'll actually find them at quite a few stations along this part of the Hainault Loop, and it's because there used to be a mainline railway line that connected with Ilford and Seven Kings, and so that's why at some stations, which I'll show you shortly, that's why they have the extended platforms to accommodate for the longer trains. They used to go around and terminate over at Woodford. I know that on the map it'll look like as if I've taken a wrong turn, but I promise it's not. It's because
there's no proper sign that says Barkingside. You have to come right up to the station building in order to get the Barkingside sign in. Quick start update. So just approached 13 kilometers. Now we are 1 hour and 27 minutes in. Like I've said before, and like I'll continue to reiterate, this is not about getting a fast time or anything like that. All that it is just documenting your journey. That's it. I'm just gonna sit here for a couple of minutes, just to have an energy bar, get a sip of water, etc. Yeah. So we're gonna be heading next to Fairlop Waters, and then we'll be heading over to Hainault. Let's get started. So Hainault station, so next stop we've got Grange Hill. I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't feeling a bit lightheaded at the minute. So now we've got this slight incline for I think 700 metres, and then it's a lovely descent down to Chigwell. So if you can remember earlier, I was telling you about the extended platforms and some of the stations along the Hainault Loop, and Chigwell is an example of that. So now we've only got Buckhurst Hill left, and then finishing at Roding Valley. So we've only got 2 stations left, and then that's it. That makes me feel a lot more motivated because yeah, a few minutes ago I was not feeling it. Our next stop is Roding Valley, our final stop on the Hainault Loop. Anyway, next station, Roding Valley. My audio prompt just said turn left and turn right, which I did, and I've come to the end of this car park and it's sealed off. This bit here, there's no way to get to there, so now I have to go all the way to the top of the car park to get to where I need to go. Whatever you do, just don't make the same mistake as me, because it's very annoying. We're finally back at Roding Valley. The Hainault Loop has been completed.
Alrighty, so I'm home, I've showered, I've changed, I feel refreshed. Let's talk about the run. I would have filmed this when I was outside of Roding Valley. However, I just completely forgot. I completely forgot. So that's why it is that I'm filming it now. On screen right now are the 5 categories. So total on-screen distance is this. I actually can't remember how long it was. The terrain, it is mostly on pavement. This route is mostly on pavement. The only bit where it wasn't was like the 500 metres between Newbury Park and Barkingside, whereas like going through the farm, but other than that, it's mostly on pavement, which is why broad shoes would be perfectly fine. Amenities. Now, what I found was the section between Roding Valley to Newbury Park, I found that there were amenities around the stations themselves, obviously. However, there were lots of amenities in between the stations. And that's important to note because from Newbury Park to Roding Valley, there wasn't really much in between. It is something to take into consideration if you do plan on doing this route. Finally, difficulty. So like I was saying earlier, this is mostly to do with the distance itself. Anything that is 0.01 kilometers to 4.99 is easy, 5 kilometers to 9.99 is intermediate, 10 kilometers to 19.99 kilometers would be advanced, and finally anything that is over 20 kilometers would be classed as expert. Now, as this run is over 20 kilometers, this is of course an expert run. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. So let me know, was there anything that you would notice that maybe I missed? Do you plan on doing this route? If you do have any questions with it, do let me know in the comments and I shall take a look. I'll also leave my GPS in the description as well. Just do take note of the fact that I took a couple of wrong turns, but it's fine. For the most part, it's fine. Thank you so much for tuning in to Runderground. If this is the type of content that you are interested in, do feel free to subscribe, and I shall see you next week. Runderground. Thank you.